My scariest moment was when we bought the business from the family. There's four other siblings beside myself, so we had to buy the business. And as soon as we bought it, we found out that True Value wouldn't sell to us anymore. So we had to close the variety store, and we couldn't buy from the hardware store, so we had to close the hardware store. Then we thought, well, what are we going to do? You know, we don't have our dime store anymore. We don't have a hardware store. And then luckily I married a creator, and Barbara, these ideas just flow out of her mind all the time. So Barbara said, well, let's just do this and that. So we converted to a gift store, started selling Taos mocks, and gosh, we sold 30, 40 pair a day when we first started and did so well. But that was pretty scary. You know, I was coaching and teaching, not making very much money, and we were having to pay the family and pay rent and trying to survive, and it got pretty scary there for a while. But Barbara, the creator, came through for us.
Actually, Tom and Bill Whaley and Psyche Caravas would go for lunch every day, and they'd talk about the interest rates they were paying and compare the notes.
22%.
It was horrible in those days. Anyway, my scariest time was trying to put all these old buildings together, and everybody would tell me you have to tear the building down because it would be cheaper. And I would say, but this is the Holder home. And what if some of them come to find out where their grandparents or great-grandparents lived? And I say, well, we tore the building down. I refused to tear any of the buildings down, so that made us pay more. But I'm not sorry. We did a big renovation and put, it was, I don't want to tell you how much, but it was really, and Bobby knows. Bobby made the loan. But I'll tell you, it was over $1 million. Anyway, it was a big project. And as soon as we got that main building built and we dug out a basement because one of the rooms wasn't solid. It had had a fire, and I mean, they had had a fire and not repaired it right. So then I was not going to have one section, well, which is now our kitchen and dining room. And so we said, well, we've got to get rid of it, but we'll rebuild it. And they gave us permission to do that. And as they were digging the stuff out, they kept digging deeper and deeper, and I told Tom, that would make a great basement. So now we have a 1,700 square foot basement underneath our dining room. And we did not spare the money. Our kitchen is the most beautiful kitchen you'll ever find. Mexican tiles going up with arches going through it. And the ceiling is even tiled. Everyone comes in and takes pictures of our dining room and our kitchen. And our dining room has every bright color that there is on the table, set with Mexican pottery, hand-blown bubble glass glasses, and Taos artwork on the walls. And some Mexican, because I was still dealing with Mexico then. I think that the most important thing that you do is that you make it beautiful, and you make it like you would want to have it if you were to stay there. So now we have 38 rooms. We cater weddings. I cook. Tom cooks. Tom, who could never boil water. But he was a great coach. But he can cook anything. He can make my granola. He's the only one on earth besides myself that knows how to make it. He's great with chilies. I mean, he's just wonderful. So it pays off, but it's hard to get it paid back when the economy goes south. So you have to think, if I were to do it again, I would do it a little bit slower and think about it and make every single thing that I got important, part of the whole plan that's in my head, because I know other plans are going to float in there. So if I miss that one, another one will come. But the main thing that the people are doing on the plaza especially is that there are too many shops that look alike. We need to be creative and inventive and not make our place look like one around the corner or right next door. We must not be selling the same things. We had people come into we've always had people come in. I was in my early 20s when we opened the Old Mexico shop, and we had people come in looking at the shop all the time, and I knew that they were going to open shops. It always disappointed me that they didn't pick what things that they liked and put it in there, and they were trying to copy what we were doing. It's awful when people do that because it makes the people not want to come to Taos. It's important that we look at that, whatever we're doing, that it's going to draw people. We're going to have a bank and you can get a loan there. You know, you can, we don't have this or that, and bring that into Taos. We're working with a man now that's interested in buying Casa Benavides, but we're saying we've got some years left in us, a lot of years. We're working 7 days a week. You have to be willing to do that, to do whatever is needed. We go to our shops every day. We work every day. We fill in when girls don't show up for work. We do their work. And we do it happily, with enthusiasm and joy. I think that it's grown. What we've done is grown, and it's going to be worth something to leave our children. I don't know that I want to sell it, though.